Hi everyone, it's June 17, 2025, 8:56 a.m. Japan time. Yesterday, the Nikkei closed at 38311, showing solid gains. In the night session, it went up to around 38600, but has since pulled back slightly to around 38350, returning to the previous day's close. What's important here is that not only the index but the actual cash market, the underwriting is also strong. Over 2,000 stocks posted gains, showing healthy breadth. And now, regarding geopolitical risk, yes, the Israel-Iran tensions are still present, but the market seems to be following that old saying, distant war are bullish. Volatility has come down as well. The Nikkei Volatility Index was 27.3 on Friday, but yesterday it dropped to 25.2, and that's a good sign, especially if markets can rise even as volatility falls. Bond yield are also steady, and 30-year JGB yield at 2.88%. ABS forecasts are up to 2468 yen, showing the fundamental concerns have eased. As for the Trump tariff, we saw Mitsubishi say the impact might be just a few billion yen. That tells us Japanese companies are qualifying these risks more clearly. The same applies to government subsidies and fiscal policy. Japan's market looks relatively stable, supportive right now. I'm also estimating that short sellers have now accumulated less than 1 trillion yen in floating losses. That's signal that many are getting squeezed, and the market could still rise on positioning alone. That said, geopolitical shocks like something from Iran could suddenly hit the tape, so we need to keep that in mind. In the US, markets are strong too. The S&P closed at 3033 point, up nearly 1%. The VIX in the US is still low, around 19.1, and bond yields are calm, so global markets are overall stable. Gold has been consolidating at high level around $3,385, cooling off after its recent surge. It may test the downside again before moving higher. Bitcoin is also up, and I think part of that is due to renewable attention around nuclear fusion. There was a joint announcement by the UK and Japan regarding fusion research, but to me that just confirms fusion is still far from reality, maybe around 2015. That means Bitcoin, which is often tied to electricity consumption, is still being valued based on today's energy constraints and not future breakthrough. So overall, we are in a supportive market environment, but of course, keep an eye on Iran-Israel problem. Nuclear risk, ironically, are not seen as bearish in the market because the worst case scenario, human extinction, is never really pricey. On the G7 front, Trump made a comment and downplaying China and Russia absence. And honestly, that's not surprising. G7 relevance has declined since the 2018 financial crisis Lehman shock. When Abe returning to power in 2013, Japan played a more central role in global diplomacy, and during Trump's first term, G7 cooperation was still functioning. But with Abe gone, Japan's influence has weakened, and countries like China, Russia, and India shaping the global balance of their power. Rebalancing is necessary. So, no It's no surprise Trump hinted at the broader framework, maybe even G20 replacing G7 as the main global platform. That's something worth watching. In terms of energy security, Canada could become a key ally for Japan, not just the Middle East. If Japan deepens its ties with Canada through investment or strategic partnership, it may not be such a bad idea. All in all, as the world shifts toward economic blocs and fragmented trade system, energy and alliance will define power. Japan needs to diversify its channel to way through way plays across the globe. That's all for today. If you enjoy this, following along, put my contents, and I'll see you tomorrow.